Hello LEGO fans, this is the first in a series of videos about the LEGO town of Neel's Harbour, and they'll detail the vehicles and the characters who make up that town. Neel's Harbour is a town on a distant world called Aurora, but more details about that in a later video. Today I'm highlighting the Neel's Harbour Firefighting Marine Unit, which is a rescue unit designed to assist those in trouble in the waters closer to the shore. Often seen assisting swimmers, campers, or most small pleasure craft with maybe one or two people in it. The town of Neel's Harbour actually pays for this service, and it's subsidized by the national government, and they are under the direction of the local fire department. And they are stationed at the Coast Guard station by the town's pier. Coast Guard requested years ago the use of an extra craft, as the tourist areas were overwhelming the federal agency's ability to respond to such rescues. So sort of a deal was worked out, and the national government pays some, the local town pays some, and there's enough equipment now to handle the rescue needs of the community. Now, if you are a builder of LEGO sets, then you'll recognize that the rescue boat is part of Fire Truck Set 7239. It was released several years ago, and the other set there, 7942, is a small fire truck set that had a different trailer, created roughly at the same time period. If you want to go investigate those sets on YouTube, there are many quality videos that do so in an excellent way. And I will not be doing these videos. I don't review sets. I just want to focus on the world that we here at the channel have created. So if you are looking for a review, I'm afraid you're on the wrong channel. This is in fact a mock or make your own creation, and I have done very little to change what I found in the original sets. If LEGO has designed what I need for my town, I purchase it and use it as is if it fits the needs of our community. LEGO has done this many times, and I appreciate that, as I don't have to design everything from scratch for the town. Now, if LEGO, for marketing reasons, gives out a set that is good and has great pieces, but simply does not fulfill our needs, often I will build and buy many different LEGO sets and compile them into one that actually fits the needs of our town. Now, that said, you won't have to listen to that big long speech again. I will just be focusing from here on out on my sets themselves and describing them and their characters. Let's have a look at this piece of equipment from the town and the characters that interact with it. Up in the trailer you can see the rescue craft has a life preserver on the bow, a searchlight for maybe the dark or the fog, as well as a climbing rung on the side of the boat to help rescuers get into the water if they need to, or more likely to help rescuees onto the boat. The boat can hold one rescuer and two rescuees if you like, or depending on the situation, there may be two Marine unit firefighters on board, but then the boat is only capable of carrying back one person to the shore. And the craft usually deploys with just the one Marine firefighter, and one usually stays on the floor, back on the shore as a communications coordinator, making sure that ambulance, fire, and police that are needed on the shore to help the victim of the accident are all there waiting at the right location when the boat returns to shore. Now, below the actual boat itself is the trailer, which has two compartments in which equipment can be stored. And below the trailer itself, you can see a standard first aid kit, which I will point out with my tweezers right there. Down to the right, we see two heavy two-way radios. These are required for communication in the heavily forested and mountainous region of which Neel's Harbour is located. They cannot afford to depend on cell phones, as they may go into a dark zone where communications may not be possible, and it is often best to keep the communications clear and without interruption. So, and very heavy radios. It's not a question of technology on this world. The radios are so big, and it is just needed that the battery power needed to pass through the forests and the mountains of the area. Beside that, we have a circular rescue saw, and that is to clear away any obstructions that might be impeding a rescue. Fire axe doing much the same job right beside it. Up on top there is a little white and yellow flashlight, a bull lantern. You can never have too much light, but it's basically the portable light of the truck. If the searchlight is affixed to the boat, you can't take that down with you if you need to search in another direction with the light in the darkness or again in the fog. Your standard fire extinguisher is there, of course, and a water pump. That might be used to pump water out of a failing craft for safety reasons, or it might be used even to pump the water out of the rescue craft itself, depending on, it being a heavy night or a heavy stormy night. Somebody could pump the water out of the boat while the other marine rescuer, in fact, did traveling or the driving of the boat. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just spin the vehicle around a bit so you can see it a little bit more clearly. On the roof, you're going to see a different sort of fire identifying marker. It's got white stripes. This allows units from the air that are trying to identify what unit it is looking at or what its job is. This would be, white stripes would indicate that it's a marine rescue unit. If the aerial unit is trying to tell other units in the area where this rescue unit is, it needs to be identified quickly. So the only time you're going to see white stripes is with marine rescue units. Now, if we keep spinning, bringing around our crew here. There we go. Oh, there's a little bit of shine there. Let's try that. To the left, we have Ted. You can see he is on the left-hand side, part of the crew of this unit. He is not shaved this morning, and some may call him an infrequent shaver. And it's very lucky that the fire captain doesn't know too much about this habit. There will be some words spoken between the two. Ted and the captain don't tend to get along too well. Teamed up with him, of course, is Linda, who's actually the senior member of the team. And she basically gets along with just about everybody. And she often acts as a go-between for the captain and Ted. Over to the right of the crew, we have 3 preservers, water preservers, and of course they are used by the crew when they are out on the boat. And there's an extra one, of course, for a person being rescued and being brought back in the boat. Everybody should have their life jackets on. And 3 being the maximum, of course, because this craft can only hold 3 figures or people. Now that we've sort of covered some of that, I'm going to bring around the rear of the truck. And you will see that there is a handlebar right there, and another sort of handle there. As I bring the truck around, there's a little platform for somebody to stand on. And this is not something that we would see in our safety-conscious world. You would never see somebody hanging on the back of a rescue vehicle today. But in the 50s, 40s, 60s, years and years ago in North America, this was not an unheard of practice. It was quite a common occurrence to have fire personnel hanging off the back of a truck as it sort of rolled down the city streets. And if you're not sure about my accuracy on that, I'm sure there'll be plenty of images you'll be able to find on the net to verify that for those that are younger than myself. Now, on Aurora, there's never been an accident involving this sort of practice of hanging on the back, so we must assume that no law has ever been brought forward to correct a problem that doesn't in fact exist. So I will simply continue rotating the vehicle around, and then I will show you what the vehicle looks like when it is all packed up. Alright, as you can see, we've actually packed up the vehicle, put all the equipment back inside, and you can see the vehicle as you would see it racing along the streets of Neel's Harbour, or maybe in the Coast Guard station where it is actually located and where it coordinates marine rescues with the Coast Guard itself. That is actually it for this video, and all I've got to say is happy building, and see you in the next video.